Today, let's explore the story of Barb, who is a great people person. She's very intuitive when it comes to people. She knows what they're feeling and how to make them happy, basically. But when it comes to her own intuition, when it comes to understanding what she's feeling, what she wants, if she's hungry, if she's full, it is a mystery. And she is both totally bewildered, what? And also frustrated as all hell that her doctor is telling her she's going to get diabetes if she doesn't stick to the meal plan. But she's been on a meal plan her whole life, and her binging has gotten to this point where it's frequent that the meal plan doesn't work. And her intuition is skewed. She can't tap into it. She's blocked from it. There's a lot of doubt that her intuition is telling her to overeat, right? Is telling her to always go to food. And so why trust the inside, right? Why trust the intuition? Why go there? So today we're going to explore Barb and her story, and we're going to be really looking at the lens of intuition. In particular, the myth that intuition comes in a flash, like a moment of enlightenment. I'm obviously basically Buddhist influenced, and oftentimes there's this story in Buddhism that the Buddha sat under the Buddha tree, and then kablamo, he was enlightened. And this is kind of how the myth of intuition, where if you don't if you're like Barb and you're trying to listen to your body and it ain't coming, you think it just ain't coming. You think you're screwed up. You think there's something wrong, whatever. That flash of light, that flash of enlightenment, you ain't getting that. And your conclusion is that there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong. There's something wrong there. Now, Barb, what she has found useful is the power of journaling. And I've talked about this many, many times before. I believe that journaling is a spiritual discipline with many, many benefits. But, we could go on about the secular benefits: gratitude, productivity, food. We're talking about food here. That's a secular thing. But I think that journaling goes beyond that. I think journaling goes to the heavens, to enlightenment. I think it's like yoga or something like this, where you practice it, you devote yourself to it. You really put your heart onto the pages. And when Barb really started getting her heart onto the pages, and in particular, following the simple guideline to get her heart on the page before she eats, get those thoughts and feelings and dig in to what the F is going on before you eat. Really place your faith in journaling first, and then, if you want to eat, that's fine. But do the spiritual thing first. Put your trust in journaling. All right. And then eat. So she starts following this, right? She starts really committing. I mean, before she eats, she's going to pull out her journal. She's going to put her heart on the page. And here is the point, because this is how she learns intuition step by step. Intuition, just like enlightenment, I don't believe is this, this heavenly glory. That's right. I don't think the tale of Buddha is totally accurate. I don't think he got there to enlightenment and just bam, before enlightenment and after enlightenment. I don't think it goes like that. Now, for me, I'm inspired, I'm influenced, again, by a specific form of Buddhism called Soto Zen Buddhism. And in this school of thought, developed in Japan around 700 years ago by Zen master Dogen, Dogen had this famous quote that says, "Practice equals enlightenment." Practice equals enlightenment. If you're an NBA fan like me, you'll remember that Allen Iverson's practice. He was scoffing at practice. But here In this philosophy, practice is enlightenment. Now, said differently, practice is intuition. Practice is developing your intuition. Do you see how Barb is practicing her intuition when she pauses before she eats? She doesn't go into automatic behavior. She does not go into automatic behavior because she forces herself to get her heart on the page before she eats. Period. End of story. Because there's no consequence. She can eat if she wants. That's how we trick that little binge mind of yours. We trick the binge mind because you can binge if you want. That's the trick here. That's why we can do this. You know, it's a tricking your brain, sort of tricking that binge brain. You can binge, but you got to get your heart on the paper first. Now, the beautiful thing about keeping a journal is that you have a record of intuition. And this is how you really take that step-by-step thing to the next level. So when you're developing intuition, like Barb is doing, she's putting her thoughts, her anxiety, her thoughts about not being worthwhile, her random thoughts about her cats. She's putting all these thoughts onto her page. And this alone is helping her slow down in the moment, getting her a little bit more grounded and actually helping her think, do I need this food? And just by pausing and slowing down, she's, realizing that some of this food she doesn't need. And she still does binge, but she is eating less overall. And her weight is trickling down a little bit, even though she still is binging. But just by pausing and, just thinking about what you're eating, by writing, really get the heart onto the page, right? Write what you're going to eat before you eat it. This is work, but when you write down what you're going to eat and what you're feeling, and that is practicing your intuition. You're exploring the outer, you're seeing it, and it's automatic. By journaling, you automatically practice intuition. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, right? Just like my old meditation teacher was saying, you're meditating if you feel your breath. You are meditating if you feel your breath. That's it. It doesn't need to be complicated. People say they can't meditate, right? But hey, did you just feel your breath? You meditated. All right? So it's real simple. And by journaling your intuition out on the page, you will practice it. And then you have this record. You have all your journal entries and all your embarrassing shit. And you look at it. You look for pattern recognition. And that's how you take your intuition development to the next level. This is where the journaling has a real advantage in terms of food. Instead of like just doing mindfulness or just doing yoga, you get this record. So you can also do the step-by-step, but when you get that record, it is exponentially increasing your intuition development, pattern recognition, really seeing the data, really getting grounded in the truth of your behavior. And so Barb, as she continues to ground herself in the truth of her behavior, really putting down her eating habits and her psychology and everything that's going around, her experience on paper, and then getting a record of pages and pages where she's faced with the truth of her experience and she sees these deeper patterns, she's becoming intuitive. This whole body thing that has been her struggle for so long, decades, and all the failed attempts at the meal plan. It's not that the meal plan is wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong here. Nutrition is very important. I need you eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a minimum with lots of protein, all right? Probably more than that. Don't get me wrong, all right? Don't get me wrong. But when you only have the meal plan, when you only have the logic, and when your intuition is blocked, or when your intuition sounds like a voice telling you to eat, right? When you are disconnected from your true Buddha nature, your true self, when you're disconnected from that, this practice can get you back there. It can get you back there step by step, and through the truth being forced, really, and going along with seeing the truth of your experiences. You are exposing your brain to all this truth, and the brain is going to become more intuitive as you do this step by step. So, where are you on your journey? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to like this video if you found this useful. It really helps get the word out there. Subscribe if you haven't, and namaste.